Does anybody have any objections to that?
So, repeat it again, Madam Mayor.
So instead of announcements, because this is not a town meeting, this is a hearing, it should be public comment.
I'm thinking on the wrong agenda.
The short one.
Keep going.
I would like to remove announcements and add public comment. You should have it. Take your time. Does anybody, have any other amendments to this agenda?
No.
All right, I'll accept a motion to remove announcements and add public comment.
Remove, Madam Mayor. Waiters.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, council. All right, so the council have been discussing some of our, just to give you a little background, the council has been discussing our charter and what amendments we can make to make the charter more modernized, brought up to speed, brought up to date, and to kind of work for the people. So myself and Councilwoman St. John and I wrote 2 separate charter amendments. And it's in reference to the recall process. It will fall under the recall process, excuse me. All right, so the first one is Charter Amendment Resolution, CAR 2601. And if you, Madam Clerk, can you pull up our current charter and under the recall process? Just give her 1 second. You know what I'm talking about, in our current charter? What you just printed for me? But while she's doing that, the premise behind why we did this was because our charter, like I said before, is outdated. And in our current charter, we cannot remove a council member from the seat unless a petition is walked by 20% of the registered voters. I'm sorry, someone's walking in, trying to see who it is, okay? So our current charter says, under the recall of mayors, the mayor and council members may be removed by qualified election of the town. The procedure to effect the removal of such persons from office shall be set forth hereafter. Number B, a petition signed by persons qualified to vote in town elections equal in number to at least, put my glasses on, that's probably my struggle here. By at least 20% of the registered voters in the town elections, unless a different percentage of voters is otherwise provided by ordinance, shall be addressed to the council and filed with the town clerk and the town election supervisor. The signatures to the petition need not be appended on one paper, but each signer shall add to his signature his place of residence, given the street number. The circular of each paper shall make affidavit before officers. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's still reading funny, like that's what it says.
Competent to administer oaths. The statements obtained therein are true, and that the purports to be all papers composing said petition shall be assembled and filed as one instrument, which endorse thereon the names and addresses of 3 persons designated as the filing and petition. The petition shall state specifically the justifications for the recall of the mayor and council, which shall be for one of the following reasons: failure to uphold the oath of office, malfeasance, misfeasance of office, non-feasance, and not attending 3 consecutive meetings. Now, here's where I'm going to stop. The problem with the way this is written it says, in order, if a person misses 3 or more consecutive meetings, well, I gave you the 5 reasons, but a petition has to be walked. It doesn't give us any other options. So, again, myself and Councilwoman St. John wrote 2 amendments to the charter, and the first one reads, Mayor and Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland Charter Amendment Resolution, CAR 2601. A charter amendment resolution adding section 1-29-B, forfeit of office for the mayor and town council members. And whereas pursuant to Article 6-E3 of the Constitution of Maryland, the Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights, the council, as the legislative body of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, the town is authorized to empower to amend the charter of the Town of Fairmount Heights. Whereas pursuant to Article 6-E4 of the Maryland Constitution, an amendment to the charter shall be proposed either by resolution of the council or by petition containing the signatures of at least 20% of the registered voters, and filed with the council. And whereas pursuant to the Maryland Code, Local Government 4-302-1 and 404, the council may initiate a proposed amendment or amendments to the charter by a resolution which, except as otherwise specified in Title 4, Subtitle 3 of the Local Government Article, is adopted in the same manner as the other resolutions in the town by the majority of the individuals elected to the council. As a legislative body of the town, and the same shall be subject to the right of referendum. And whereas the council has determined that the charter amendments set forth here are necessary for more effective and efficient means of government. And whereas the council providing for reasonable and appropriate representation of the residents of the town and providing for better management and governance of the town, its affairs, deems it necessary and appropriate for good government and residents of the town to amend certain provisions of the charter as set forth therein. Section 1. Therefore it be resolved by the Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, that pursuant to the authority of Article 6-E of the Maryland Constitution and 4-302-1 and 4-304 of the Local Government Article of Maryland Annotated Code, the Maryland Charter of the Town of Fairmount Heights is amended to add section 1-29-B to the charter. It is as follows. Article 6, section 1-29B, forfeit of office of the mayor and the town council members. The mayor or a council person shall forfeit their office if they, 1, fail to attend 3 consecutive meetings for reasons unrelated to health of the member, military service, or other reasons acceptable to the majority of the council. Meetings shall be regular or special meetings for which notice has been published or advertised, work sessions of the council. 2, no longer meet the qualifications during their term of office prescribed by the charter. 3, violates any express prohibition of this charter. 4, is convicted of a felony or misdemeanor. When a forfeit occurs by the mayor and council, persons, they shall not be reappointed or eligible to run for office in special election to fill the vacancy for the remainder of the term. In the event the mayor or council person forfeits their office for reasons that are not criminal in nature, they should have the ability to be a candidate at the next regular scheduled election. Section 2, be it further resolved by the Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights in Maryland that if any selection, subsection, sentence, clause, phase, or portion of this resolution is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by court of competent jurisdictions, such portions shall be deemed separate, distinct, and independent provisions and such holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the resolution. It being the intent of the council that this resolution shall stand, not withholding the validity of any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion thereof. Section 3, be it further resolved by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, that to the extent that any section of this charter is in conflict with the provisions of section 1 and 2 of this resolution, such sections or sections be and hereby be repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 4, be it further resolved the following: the public hearing regarding CAR 2601 conducted in accordance with the regulations of the law. This amendment resolution, well, we're not gonna adopt it, is adopted on the date that, we vote on it. And that the amendment to the charter of the town of Fairmount Heights hereby be proposed by an enactment shall be and become effective 50 days after passage of the town, unless petition a referendum in accordance with Maryland Code, Local Government Article 4-304 within 40 days following its passage. A complete and exact copy of the resolution shall be posted in the town hall building for 40 days following the passage of the town, and a fair summary of the charter amendment shall be published in a newspaper having general circulation not less than 4 times at weekly intervals, also within the 40 days following the passage of the town. Section 5, be it further resolved that as soon as the charter amendment resolution hereby enacts becomes effective, and herein provide the following referendum: the town clerk shall send the Department of Legislative Services the following information concerning the charter amendment resolution: the complete text of this resolution, the date the referendum election, if held, with respect thereto. 3, the number of votes cast for or against by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights or in the referendum. And 5, the effective date of the charter amendment. 6, be it further resolved that the town clerk and hereby is specifically enjoined and is instructed to carry out the provisions of section 4 and 5 as evidence of compliance herewithin. And said clerk shall cause to be affixed to the minutes of the meeting an appropriate certificate of publication of the newspaper in which the fair summary of the charter shall be published, and shall further cause to be completed and executed the certificate of effect. Now this, it says introduced by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights at a regular scheduled meeting. So we will reintroduce this after we do our, notice in the paper in our 40 days, right? Okay. So, so this was the first one, and again, we did this because our charter does not allow us, to remove members who are not attending meetings, and for the reasons that are already listed, the 5 reasons. Are there any questions about this charter amendment? No questions? Okay. All right. I will now turn it over to Councilwoman St. John to read her charter amendment
Thank
and
you.
the reasons why we're doing it. Do you have the one broken up the draft?
No. Oh, what's the difference? Oh, just that one's a draft. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I will be introducing the Charter Amendment Resolution CAR 26-02, which is basically in regards to making a charter amendment for the qualifications for a council member in the town of Fairmount Heights. One thing that we've came across and noticed is that the charter specifically outlines what we want the requirements and qualifications to be to join the council, but not to uphold and do those same things while they're actually serving. So there's some amendments here that are basically going to make sure that while a person is in office, they are still meeting the requirements. And then, so You know, come on. Oh, all right, I'll go ahead. So I'll go ahead and start reading the, oh, yeah, so I was gonna say that for questions.
Address the, give us 1 second. please.
Oh, you mean the reduction of the council? I don't think it says that specifically in it. I was gonna ask you about that.
Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it'll say, 4 years, but not specifically that. I should ask you about that first. Oh, yeah, it does. So in addition to that, one of the other things that we have been in discussions about, is the reduction of the council, reducing the council from, the current, seat of 7, down to 5. And one of the reasons that we are looking into this is due to lack of sustained public interest in serving. We have had some high turnover rates, also just direct savings and costing. We have found that with all the different tasks that are being done, even with full seats of councils, it's still a small reserve having those things done. So we have predicted per seat cost and reducing the council as well. Alignment with our municipal best practices. And then the proposal to reduce the Fairmount Heights Town Council from 7 to 5 members basically is financially responsible, and it's a step in towards modernizing the local government. It directly addresses some of the challenges of our limited candidate interest, and being able to have a full quorum. Some other key points, I really was gonna say some of this just if we had specific questions, but, yeah, just over the last 2 years, we've had difficulties filling the 7 seats due to a lack of interest, and even when we have been getting council members, just being able to get participation, as you guys can see, having people actually attend meetings and be active, has really been non-existent and, not consistent. So I will go through and read the full charter amendment resolution. So Mayor and Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, Charter Amendment Resolution CAR-26-02. A charter amendment resolution amending Article 3, Section 1 through 4, number selection, term in Section 1 through 5, qualifications of Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland Charter. Whereas pursuant to Article 6-E of the Constitution of Maryland, the Council of Town of Fairmount Heights, the Council, as a legislative body of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, the town is authorized and empowered to amend the charter of the Town of Fairmount Heights, and whereas pursuant to Article 6-E4 of the Constitution of Maryland, the amendment to the charter shall be proposed either by a resolution of the council or by a petition containing the signatures of at least 20% of the registered voters of the city and filed with the council. Whereas pursuant to Maryland Code and Local Government 4-302 and 4-304, the council may initiate a proposed amendment or amendments to the charter by a resolution which, except as otherwise specified in Title 4, Subtitle 3 of the Local Government article. It's adopted in same manner as other resolutions in the town by a majority of all individuals elected to the council as the legislative body of the town, and the same shall be subject to the right of referendum. And whereas the council has determined that the charter amendments set forth herein are necessary for a more effective and efficient means of government. And whereas the council, providing for the reasonable and appropriate representation of the residents of the town and providing for a better management and governance of the town and its affairs, deems it necessary and appropriate for the good government and residents of the town to amend certain provisions of the charter as set forth herein. Section 1. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the Town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, that pursuant to the authority of Article 6-E of the Constitution of Maryland and 4-302 and 4-304 of the Local Government Article of the Maryland Annotated Code, the municipal charter of the Town of Fairmount Heights is amended as follows. Section 1 through 4, number selection. All legislative powers of the town shall be vested in a town council consisting of 5 council members and a mayor who shall be elected as herein provided and who shall hold office for a term of 4 years or until succeeding council takes office. The regular term of council members shall expire on the second Monday following the election of their successors. Council members holding office at the time of this charter becomes effective shall continue to hold office for the term for which they were elected and until the succeeding council takes office under the provisions of this charter. Section 1 through 5, the qualifications. Each council member shall be at least 18 years of age, shall have resided in the town for at least 1 year immediately preceding the date of election, shall be qualified voters in the town, and shall not have been convicted of either a felony or misdemeanor involving assault, battery, or moral turpitude, or have entered a plea of guilty or nolo contendere or an Alford plea to such crime. Each council member must be bona fide residents of the town and maintain their principal dwelling places within the town limits. Property ownership does not satisfy residency requirements. If at any time said person shall move from the town, their office shall automatically become vacant. Section 2, be it further resolved by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, that if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this resolution is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision, and such holding shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this resolution. It being the intent of the council that this resolution shall stand, notwithstanding the invalidity of any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion hereof. Section 3, be it further resolved by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, that to the extent of any section of the charter is in conflict with provisions of section 1 and 2 of this resolution, such section or sections be and hereby repealed to the extent of conflict. Oh, thank you. Section 4, be it further resolved that following a public hearing, CAR-26-2, conducted in accordance with the requirements of state law, this charter amendment resolution is adopted, and of course we haven't adopted this yet, and the amendment to the charter of the town of Fairmount Heights hereby proposed this enactment shall be and become effective 50 days after its passage by the town unless petitioned to a referendum in accordance with the Maryland Code of Annexation. Local Government Article 4-304 within 40 days following its passage. A complete and exact copy of this resolution shall be posted in the town hall building for 40 days following its passage by the town, and a fair summary of the charter amendment shall be published in a newspaper having general circulation in the town not less than 4 times at weekly intervals, also within the 40 days following its passage by the town. Section 5, be it further resolved that as soon as the charter amendment resolution hereby enacted becomes effective, either as herein provided or following referendum, the town clerk shall send to the Department of Legislative Services the following information concerning the charter amendment resolution. Section 1, the complete text of resolution. 2, the date of referendum election, if any, held with respect thereto. 3, the number of votes cast for and against this resolution by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights or in a referendum. And 4, the effective date of the charter amendment. 6, be it further resolved that the town clerk and hereby is specifically enjoined and instructed to carry out the provisions of section 4 and 5 hereof as evidence of compliance herewith. And said town clerk shall cause to be affixed to the minutes of this meeting an appropriate certificate of publication of the newspaper in which the fair summary of the charter amendment shall have been published, and shall further cause to be completed and executed in certificate in effect. Introduced by the council of the town of Fairmount Heights at a regular meeting, and did I need to say that that's going to be the next meeting? Okay. And that will conclude the resolution for this request of amendment.
Are there any questions to this charter amendment? Okay. All right, so we've read both amendments to the charter publicly. We're gonna follow the rules that were provided from our attorney on the process. The next process is, we will take a vote during a regular meeting, read it again, take a regular vote. If it passes, then we would have to post the resolution at the town hall or other places for 40 days after the resolution is adopted, and publish a fair summary of the proposed amendment in a newspaper for general circulation at least 4 times. So that was already in our resolution. So that is the next step. I now open it up for public comment. If anybody would like to come up and make any comments. Anybody
Okay.
online?
No.
Is there anybody online that would like to make a public comment? Nobody's online?
There are, but there's no one who's requested to speak.
All right.
Okay, so we will introduce these 2 charter amendments at our next town meeting so that we can, move forward with getting them added to our charter. If there are no more public comments, I'll accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move, waiters.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll resume our town meeting at 7:30. Huh?
Recording stopped.
I'm assuming Hodge Room will be locked. I mean, we get that out of there, the charges for, town meeting.